Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking about everything new that is coming to AFK Journey. There's a lot, there's a new season, there's new characters, they have a dev update. I'll kind of be your guide through the patch notes or through the developer conversation that they have, but I do want to preface that there is a lot, so feel free to check it out yourselves. By all means, let's get into it. First and foremost, if you didn't see, they talk about solving power creep. They talk about the new season, who has access to it, and, you know, everything in between, why you should be trying the mode out, etc. Now, beyond this, the first thing that you're probably curious about is, how do you even get to 240? If you are someone that is playing even free to play, I could imagine that maybe at this point you're anywhere between 150, 160, 170, even up to like maybe 200. But me personally, although I did end up hitting 240 maybe like a week or so ago, that was after a decent amount of spending. So how are you going to catch up? And the way that they're describing this is this, I thought, and in the first take of my video, I thought that this was going to be new or this was adjusted, but I had seen in the past that this AFK catch-up mechanic also already existed, but whether or not this is actually enough to catch you up to 240, I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see, but it is really nice, of course, that you are being given more resources. That being said, outside of whether or not you're going to be able to catch up, we do have to talk about the actual season and what you have in it. And that includes seasonal specific, I guess, new topics. The first thing being something like your resonance level, your character levels. Then your skills that are exclusive or specific to the season. You have the class or season class specific equipment. And then you also have like charms that I guess like change. I think it's something that like changes the effect. I'm assuming they're talking about the artifact charms. Or it'll, oh wait, actually no, this is different. Sorry, I misread this. It just changes your hero's abilities. Anyways, point is that there's a lot of different things to happen to the season. It is going to feel different, or hopefully, at least from what we know right now, feel different enough from the current season so that you have a reason to play the new season. But beyond that, this sort of trope is common and also pretty, you know, pretty popular amongst all different kind of games or MMO or RPGs, whether that's Diablo, Path of Exile, anything like that. The idea of starting fresh is kind of interesting, especially, and I shouldn't say especially, but primarily only if there is some reason to do it and there is some reward to it later. And that, of course, we'll talk about in a little bit. But some things that they've talked about for the Song of Season or the Song of Strife season is that I guess they've kind of made a QA to kind of address some of the biggest questions, which is stuff like, if you just AFK every day, is that all right? And they say, of course, it's fine to AFK, but they, of course, want you to play the game for more than 5 seconds. But then they also have stuff that is, you know, kind of really interesting or like, you know, worth looking into and diving into. Stuff like will you be able to just log in after, you know, like 10,000 hours and collect everything? But they did say that they are going to prevent players only from, you know, collecting things like all at once way in the future. So they're probably going to reward more like daily login play. But they do also talk about stuff like, if you use your resources to upgrade your season content, will you get it back? And the answer is kind of. They give you back some of it calculated based on, I guess, whatever measure they choose. But they also address that they are going to be adding more cross-server stuff or like a dynamic district. We'll see how interesting or how good this is. I was happy with the fact that I could add some of my friends currently in AFK Journey, but honestly, it feels like they needed to work on things a little bit more, or I don't know, maybe have like cross-guild stuff like that. That would be kind of cool. Anyways, that being said, they also address that like with the Alpha Bear and the different legend kind of content, or like the different boss content, the start or the beginning of the season will happen after 42 days upon the creation of a server. So 42 days from when your server begins is when you'll have access to the server. And that will kind of cascade. If you're in like the 200 or 300s, you obviously have like a different kind of date, starting date, I should say, for specifically this season. And beyond all the season update, which I think we'll have to see closer, maybe if they like announce like a trailer or something, it'll be cool. We do have to talk about the new characters that they've announced. Elsa looks really cool. She's a Mauler character. It looks like, I don't know if I had to guess, since she's got this natural leader, helpful kind of like vibe to her. This is all just guessing, and I don't know if this character is like prominent or popular in AFK Arena, or if she's even in AFK Arena, but I would guess that she's somewhat of a support. another Mauler support, which I think would be cool, but a little bit crazy because Coco and Smokey are also like really insane. But then we also have Soren, who looks to be a Shakir-esque like melee bruiser-y kind of DPS that probably wants to deal damage. He's got, of course, stuff like protective and decisive and private, cautious, which may lead you to bleed or believe that he could be a tank. Who knows? But just between the two, I think that there is a lot to see and a lot to talk about and a lot to be excited for coming up with AFK Journey. But beyond these updates, I also want to talk about, number one, this new mechanic. I shouldn't say new, but it's a mechanic that I just got access to very recently after unlocking the new the level 240s, and it does kind of play into the whole like 240 resonance and how it's like a big benchmark. And that's after you hit level 240, you're probably wondering like, does it ever go up? Or are you stuck like forever trying to, you know, just sit at 240 resonance and 240 gear? But actually, no, because there's a resonance synergy where you convert your powder, you convert your training manuals into powder. And this powder, of course, is just per total level. It's no longer just leveling up each individual character. Now everyone has the same powder level, and kind of similar to how at some point the Supreme Plus doesn't end up being the end game. You can start getting Paragon levels. Your resonance level now goes up and up and up. I don't know if there's something at 300. If you have hit 300, feel free to let me know what, is present there. But I just wanted to also bring that up because 240, though it technically is the end game, is not really the end game. It's kind of the beginning of the end, if you think about it. And if you aren't already familiar with it, and I've talked about it before, the Trials of Abyss, or the Trial of Abyss, is another piece of content that people are doing right now, because, of course, that's the new Abyss, or the new endgame. It's no longer just the AFK stages. Well, it basically is, but you do have additional rewards, and every single stage that you clear gives you things like pulls for your Celestials, or it gives you more of the exclusive, exclusive equipments. Any of these are really nice, but this is what the end game looks like, at least for right now, or the further along into the game content looks like. That being said, I do think that AFK Journey has a lot, I think, going for it right now. It does kind of feel a little bit sad that when you aren't at that 1125, or when you're at 1125 and you don't get to the Abyss yet, you have that week, which I already addressed a couple times as being somewhat of an annoying gap where you just, unless if you've hoarded for like hours upon hours and just for whatever reason you aren't able to complete the story, it feels like that gap is what kills a lot of people into the game. Outside of that, I do think that the powder kind of distribution is really kind of like annoying to deal with. I don't know if they've addressed any of these things, but the season content that they're talking about is likely going to be their next big focus. So whether or not that will be successful or not, I hope it does. I do really like AFK Journey. They have a lot of complexity to the PvP and the arena. And even though I'm getting absolute smacked by the people above me who are now like, just buying powder on repeat every day, I hope to be able to play this game, and, I still have my Wolf Slayer rewards, so that's cool. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video, though. Hope you guys enjoyed. Again, there's a lot that is coming. I'm excited to see what it has. I don't think, for right now, the game is in such an exciting state, just because we're waiting for content to come out. And even with the Trial of Abyss, with no new characters out, you're kind of spamming the same thing. Alpha bears are about to die, or they're on the lower end of things. So be sure to get your attacks in for those. But outside of that, we're kind of just doing the same thing, boys. Anyways, thanks again for watching, guys. Make sure to like, comment, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good night.